Good evening. Would everyone please stand to say the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This session of the Lincoln County Commission on November the 1st, 2012 at 6 p.m. is now called to order. Members present is Merle Q. Clerk, Charles McCann, President, Charles Vance, Commissioner, Michael Browning, Commissioner. First thing on the agenda, I need a motion to approve the minutes of the regular session of the Lincoln County Commission meeting that was held on October the 18th, 2012 at 10 a.m.
I make a motion.
Second.
Motion and second. There being all yes vote, motion carries.
Next thing on the agenda is Guy Browning with her flood insurance rate maps.
Welcome, Guy.
Go ahead.
As you are aware, the FEMA is in the process of issuing new firm maps for Lincoln County and two corporations. And on October 17th and the 24th, they ran a notice in the Journal of the appeal process that the county as a community and individuals have to appeal the new maps. And my questions for the commission is, does the county as a community want to start the process of an appeal to the maps? Or do we want to further notify the people of the changes that's going to happen with the new maps?
And I'm assuming that you have reviewed the maps and been able to see differences, changes,
Yeah,
to some extent anyway.
I've went through the majority of the maps, and in Lincoln County, there's two zones. There's an AE zone, which has elevations that you can determine what the 100-year flood level is. And there's an A zone, which is an approximate zone, which there's no known elevations to say, yeah, I can build my house at elevation 640 and be above the 100-year flood. On the new maps, the AE zone has pretty much stayed the same or gotten a little bit better. You know, I'm not talking by feet, maybe by 1 or 2 tenths that the elevations would be better. Some of the A zones have expanded and some of them has decreased. You can't, when you do an appeal, you can't just say, I don't think I'm in a flood zone. To send an appeal to FEMA, you have to have technical or scientific data that shows that the map's wrong. And that would include a flood study or an elevation certificate, something with technical data that shows that that map's wrong. Since the notices have ran in the paper on the 17th and 24th, we have 90 days to say, yeah, we want to appeal and send in the information that we provide showing the maps are wrong, or we have to say we agree with the maps and we accept them. Individuals are the same way. They have to provide technical data or scientific data showing that those maps are wrong and come to me or the commission, and then we would forward it on to FEMA and they would set up a hearing date. I haven't seen enough in the maps that I would think that the county needs to pursue an appeal. Like I say, some areas have changed and gotten bigger on the A zones, and some areas haven't. Generally, people don't realize that they're in a flood zone until they go to refinance a house or buy a house, and then it gets caught.
In this A zone, how do you deal with that if somebody comes in and wants a permit?
What I do is, once I find out where the property is at, I look on the map if their property plots inside that zone, and then they have to bring technical data to me showing that they're going to be above what a surveyor would determine that a reasonable height would be to be safe within inside that zone. Like I say,
So it's not just you sitting there looking at the map, they're gonna have to provide
yeah,
information, data.
you know, I can say, yeah, you're in it, or no, you're not, but I can't, you know, they're going to have to show me how they're going to construct a house or place the mobile home or whatever the case may be. Even, even if someone is in a zone and they don't know it, and they don't appeal within this 90-day period, you can still, even a year down the road or 2 years down the road, if they go to buy a house, or say they're going to refinance their house, and it comes back through the new map that they're in a flood zone. At that time, they can still go through the process of providing scientific or technical data to FEMA, and FEMA will change the map at that time. The only downside would be if they wait. Either way, they're going to have to provide scientific data. But if they wait until that time, it may cost them a year's worth of flood insurance. They may have to provide to the bank, show the bank that they're going to buy flood insurance.
Have you had any response from the general public?
I haven't received one call, and the last notice was October 24th, so a little over 2 weeks. And the 90-day appeal starts on October 25th, after the last notice that was in
You
the
know,
paper.
I looked at the maps, but they didn't mean a whole lot to me, other than I thought they were better than the
Yeah.
last ones, they're more easy to read.
Yeah. And one change is in the Allen Creek area and down Cold River, that used to be an A zone, and now it's going to be an AE zone, which will be better for the people down through there if they have to show that they're elevated above the base flood elevation. They can do that now, where before, where it was an A zone, it was tough. But that's changed on the new maps, which is better. Does the commission feel we need to further notify by running something in the paper?
Well, I guess on my behalf, each will have to speak for themselves. It seems to me like it, based on what you have said here, that there's not much reason to appeal.
No.
We should just accept it. May regret it one of these days, but I don't
Yeah.
think it doesn't seem like it, if there's any reason from my position to do anything different. You guys got anything different?
And as far as A zones go, it's really not a bad thing. Usually they're overestimated, but that's generally not a bad thing because, you know, we've seen in recent history.
Does
you
the,
have-
I'm sorry, do the maps provide, like on the Mud River and the Guyandotte River, any difference? Does it show the improvements it's made from our Deep Valley Dam and for the Mud River Dam? Is those things, is AE zone better now than it was, or?
Back when R.D. Bailey went online, the base flood elevation on the Guyandotte was adjusted. I think, take the Salt Rock area, generally it lowered it by 8 feet. The Mud River watershed hasn't changed. The
I know
Mud
people
River.
here in Hamilton, some say, well, it helped make it a foot or something, but I just wonder if that's documented.
It hasn't affected the base flood elevation on the Mud River. I don't know that that's something, you know, the county needs to provide to FEMA all the data that went into building the dam to show that it did lower the base flood elevation of the Mud River. That may be something I need to check into to see if,
Well, originally, I think they had like 3 or 4 dams proposed that it would have made it
Yeah.
very different. End up due money, whatever, they end up doing the one we have. And I don't think it was very much flood relief really expected. That the reason for building it was control, but really got much relief.
And one other thing we'll have to do, if, once the new maps go into effect, we will have to adopt the new maps into the floodplain ordinance. But that can be done at another time.
So God, do you feel tonight that the commission needs to make a motion to accept these maps and not appeal? Or,
I don't see that there's any reason to appeal the maps from what I've seen. Like I say, some areas have been adjusted.
So at some
Maybe.
point, you do say that we would adopt the maps that have been reconfigured. At some point, we do need to officially adopt them.
Yeah. Yeah. The motion to adopt the maps doesn't have to be made tonight. I just need to know whether we want to
Right.
either further notify or try to appeal the maps as a community.
Unless you would hear something, you know, different between now and whenever the ending period is, I'd say just prepare to come to some appropriate commission meeting and ask us to adopt them. Because I don't think we have any objections from what we hear here.
Okay.
Before, don't want to, guy's such an humble guy, but he is our first certified person to do this job, really. We have never had anyone to go through the training program and pass the test. Wasn't sure he was going to be able to pass it, but he did. Pretty tough, but I think that the commission really, we're glad and honored that you were able to bring that focus to yourself and get that certification. It means a lot to our county. I think it means a lot if we're ever challenged on making decisions based upon the information. I congratulate you on behalf of everybody for hanging in there and doing it, and just shows that the commission made a good decision.
I appreciate that. And I'm not trying to brag on myself, but it was really a difficult test. I was happy when I got the results back.
Well, we're happy for you, for sure. And Steve, Steve's a pretty sharp guy, and he was on top of the issues, but he had never been able to get to that point of passing the test. I don't think he'd ever tried, really, but he couldn't get his confidence up.
I appreciate the commission giving me the opportunity to, it's a field I've been interested in. And I appreciate the opportunity to do that.
Well, and just keep us abreast of what's going on, how you're dealing with things, any issues that come up, because I know it is a job that has issues with it. And so just let us know, keep us informed a couple times a year or whatever you want to.
All right.
Anything else? Thank you.
we'll go ahead and do Burns